In this video, everything you need to know when going on holiday to El Arenal. If you haven't booked yet, this is also a great way to see if El Arenal is actually the right holiday destination for you. Also in this video, some easy tips, things to watch out for, but also some ways that will save you loads of money while on holiday. The beach in El Arenal is a huge white sandy beach, but the beach here can get pretty busy, especially in the high season months of July and August. Before, you could often find many groups of young party people with loud music and loads of alcohol, but Mallorca is trying to put an end to this with varying degrees of success. So all these hotels you're seeing on the screen right now are very good hotels with great value for money. At the moment I was visiting them, do know that they are very different from each other, so do make sure you pick the right one for you. If I would give you one advice in El Arenal, if you're booking a hotel, keep a little bit watch for where it is placed, because it can be in a very busy street or next to a party center, and maybe you don't want that. So that's the one big advice I would definitely, if you're booking your own hotel, have a look at that you pick the right hotel for you. But all these hotels you've just seen online, I think are very good hotels you can book today if you want, if you're looking for great value for money. If you're not sure what is the right hotel for you, or if you want a second opinion on the hotel you've already kind of pre-selected before booking it, then you can always get in contact with me on my website by going to the website, or you can email me on this email address as well. El Arenal is one of the main party areas in Mallorca, especially with German and Dutch nationalities. The entire area is lined with bars, beer gardens and large clubs. If you are looking to party, this is definitely the best place for you on the island, together with Magaluf and Cala Rajada. So El Arenal is actually quite close to the airport. It is one of the resorts that is closest to the airport. You can simply take a bus there. I think it's about €5 at this moment, but it's a little bit hard to understand where to get off. There's also other options like taxis. I've had a little bit of bad experiences with, because it seems every time I take a taxi, the taxi kind of like makes a detour just to make the price go up. I don't say all the taxis do this, but I had this happen quite a few times. I would advise making arrangements before traveling to Mallorca to get you from the airport to the El Arenal. I have a separate video covering this, so simply look in the suggested videos, or you can also simply type El Arenal bus or taxi, and then normally it should show up on the first place. So in this next part, I want to give you a little bit of a warning. This is not only my own experience, but also other people who follow my channel and who have been traveling and talk to me have been telling me this about Mallorca. These are the most common things that people have like a negative experience with on holiday. So I don't want to sound too negative, but in this part, I want to give you a little bit information about those. First of all, do not go on excursions or day trips offered by flyers you find in the street, or people who randomly contact you on the street. There is always some kind of an unpleasant kind of catch, no matter how good the deal may sound. The most common is that you will have to sit through a long sales presentation for all kinds of random products. This can also be for timeshare, or sometimes you will have a few hours near an overpriced restaurant in the middle of nowhere where there's nothing else to do but spend your money there. On number 2, this is about the illegal sales that are happening on the beaches and in the streets of Mallorca. Since from now on, you yourself can be fined anywhere from 100 to 750 euros if you buy anything from them, or if you take one of the massages, or do the hair braiding, selling fruits or drinks on the beach. Any of these, if you partake in them, you can be fined up to 750 euros. This is a new law since July 2018 to combat these things that have been really getting out of hand and have been getting a lot of complaints by many of the tourists coming to Mallorca. Since finding the people doing so far has proven little successful, now the government has been deciding to do it for both the people buying and the people selling. So be aware, you can get a huge fine if you partake in any of these activities. Number 3, this is about car rental. Most of the time now when you rent a car or you reserve it online for a certain price, the price will go way up, simply because if you arrive in the airport or you go to the car rental offices, the people there, they will try and kind of like confuse you and tell you you need this and this and this, but it's just kind of like practices to get you to buy more things. I covered this in a different video. Also on my website you can find the companies that I use when I'm traveling, so you can have a good and smooth experience without any of these upselling problems. So I just quickly want to repeat, Mallorca is a nice place. Don't be put off by these tips I've given you. They are just there to warn you. Now you've been informed, you can have a great holiday on Mallorca. So this next tip is a little bit of a cheeky one, but most of the information out there is basically meant to sell you a specific holiday or a specific hotel or a specific destination. If you want great advice about hundreds of destinations in Spain and also other places, that is advice specifically for you, not to sell you something, but specifically for you to have a great holiday, then don't forget to click the subscribe button so you can find all my videos covering Mallorca, about 100 videos covering Mallorca, and also all these other places even more easy. El Arenal has many restaurants all over the resort. Many cater especially to Dutch and German holidaymakers with their preferred international dishes. Over the years, many of the restaurants have been getting more upscale and higher in price as well. However, there are still remaining many simple and budget snack places for those looking to eat on a budget. So should you get the all-inclusive or the half-board? Well, this really depends a lot on what exactly you want. However, one quick tip I want to give you is that most of the receptions in the hotel, you can also book this separate. So why would you want to do this? Well, one thing is, first you can try the food, kind of compared to booking it within your hotel package. If you just book the room and then go to the hotel and then try the food one night, see if it's any good, if you enjoy it, and then go to the reception and just book it there. It's also cheaper. You will get it about 20 or 30% cheaper from my experiences. And also, if you want to go a day on an excursion, you can do that. Just don't take the food for that day. Just say to the reception, I want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they will make you that package there. And also, one more important thing is if you want to eat out, this is also maybe once or twice in a holiday you want to do this in a nice restaurant nearby. It's also only an option if you do it this, and you won't be wasting any money on an all-inclusive package that covers all the days. So when is the right time for you to visit Mallorca? Well, in this next part, a quick guide to when and when not to visit, so you know when to book. And if you've already booked, this is also a great way to know what to expect and how to prepare for it. January, February and March, these months in Mallorca is very popular with athletes who come to Mallorca to train, as there will be very little people on the island around this time, and therefore many empty roads to use for the cyclists. Also, the weather around this time is mostly kind of mild compared to some other colder European countries. It's also for this reason that a lot of retired people come to Mallorca around this time, especially from the colder, more Scandinavian countries, as accommodation is very cheap and the climate is, as I said, nice and mild. Do know that most hotels, bars and restaurants might be closed still around this time. So April is the first month kind of the year that the weather starts to change a little bit and more hotels, bars and restaurants start to open. This depends a lot on what month and week the Easter holidays fall into. Most of the time this is not really beach or pool weather just yet, but prices outside of the Easter holidays are on the cheaper side and might be worth taking a little risk. Make sure always to bring a sweater and some longer clothing, especially for during the evenings. May is normally one of the first real months for Mallorca. Also, it has the better weather starting to come around, and normally all the hotels have opened at this time, especially when you look more towards the middle of May. The same also counts for all the restaurants, bars and excursions start to open at this time of year. June, July and August are the months with the best weather. If you really want the best weather and you want to spend most of the time at the beach or at the pool, then these are the best months for you. Personally, I think normally August kind of gets a little bit too hot for me, but I really think that's a personal thing and most people might disagree with me. If you are looking for the best months, price, quality, weather-wise, then June and September normally are the best. October is very much like May, but with the added benefit that the pool and the seawater is already a bit warmer compared to May normally from being after the summer. But do know that the weather is quite unpredictable and it starts to cool down. Especially for the evenings, just to make sure bring a sweater and some long clothing as you might or may not need it. In November and December, there is not so many people on Mallorca. It's very much like January, February and March. It's mostly people coming here to train and to do sports, and the retired people coming to look for the more quiet and mild climate. So now you know more about this destination. Is this the right one for you? Well, then do get in contact with me. You can email me right here if you haven't booked yet, and we can figure out together what is the right hotel for you.